Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. Recently, we had a chance to talk with Dr. Temple Grandin. It's been a couple of years since we spoke, and a lot has changed, right? So we talked about a variety of topics, and including one that really kind of seemed to pop up more and more last year, since we last spoke with Dr. Brandy Smith just over a year ago. Pathological demand avoidance, PDA. It's been on the rise. Temple, what are your thoughts about PDA?
Well, I think it's something that's been allowed to get out of hand. You know, from a very young age, I was expected to do things. Like, okay, we were going to go to family gatherings, go to Granny's, go to my Aunt Bella's house. And they made some accommodations. I had a need for exercise. So I was allowed to run in this big hallway at my Aunt Bella's house. And there was a mirror at the end of the hall, and I could watch myself get big. At Granny's, the apartment was on the 5th floor, and I was allowed to play Beat the Elevator, which on the stairs, always did. Well, Mother used to, that's my way of running the energy out of me. Okay, those would be accommodations. But we're going to go to Granny's, and we're going to go to Aunt Bella's, and we're not going to have a scene there. And then another thing we did, we sit at the formal table, and I had to sit there for 20 minutes, and then I could ask to be excused. But if dessert wasn't served in 20 minutes, I didn't get it. So here was a motivation to sit there. And then there was a spare bedroom with some toys if I really got overstressed.
Yeah, and you needed a timeout, sure.
Yeah, but these are the things that were done. I remember those toys very well. There was a wind-up squirrel that hopped and a bear that would wiggle his head like this and walk. But we did family gatherings without having a scene for the most part.
What are your thoughts on ABA therapy? Do you think it does better or worse for a child in the future?
It depends. It depends upon how they do it. I do not like the old-fashioned ABA, sitting at a table, forcing eye contact. Don't like that. You know, there's a lot. What's important in a little kids program is the teacher. I'm talking, 3 to 5-year-olds here. Some teachers have the knack. They know just how hard to push the kid to get him to engage and start taking turns at little games. And there's ABA programs that do that. And the decent early intervention programs address sensory issues and do sensory activities like deep pressure and the stuff that the OTs do. Now, for a fully verbal kid, when they get older, the strict ABA stuff needs to be phased out. When ABA was invented, it was invented as a little kids program to get them started. And some of it can get way too rigid. The thing I always ask parents, the little kid, like a 3-year-old, are you getting progress? And progress is speech, better ability to take turns at different kinds of games, and skills. Put your coat on, comb your hair, wash your hands, use a spoon. The skills.
These are all things you struggled with too, right?
Yeah. And the child should get progress and like going to therapy.
Do you think we're doing enough for the more profound folks?
Well, I'm a big proponent of teaching them how to type, and there's some very good books to read. I really, really like Tita Mukhopadhyay, How Can I Talk If My Lips Don't Move? And he describes problems with the amount of effort it took to type, screening out noise, problems with controlling movement. His visual system's not working right, even though his eyes are fine. He's scrambling in the visual system. And then there's Carly's Voice. It's another good book. And then there's The Reason I Jump. But The Reason I Jump has a sequel, which is a better book. The kid's older, more insight, something like Fall Down 5 Times, Get Up 7. It's the sequel. All of these people are verified to type independently. And if you're working with a kid older than 6 or 7 that's nonverbal, I recommend these books.
We'll be back for more with Dr. Temple Grandin right after this.
Don's Tree Service is awesome.
Love Don's Tree Service. They've come out for a giant oak tree removal, another for some debris removal.
One thing I really appreciated about Don's Tree Service, they come, they take those trees down, and they take everything away.
For a free estimate, call Don's Tree Service, 770-413-TREE, or find them online at donstree.com.
Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. As the world continues to embrace the neurodiverse, let's hear Temple's thoughts about what types of jobs work for what types of minds.
I talk about this in my book, Visual Thinking. Hidden gifts of people who think in patterns, pictures, and abstractions. I also have a lot of information on it in my other book here, The Autistic Brain. Let's take my mind. Object visualizer. That's what I am. Thinking pictures. And we are terrible at higher math. I still can't do algebra. But what we're good at is animals, but all kinds of skilled trade stuff. High-end skilled trades. I worked with people that owned big metalworking shops that were definitely autistic and dyslexic. And then art and photography. Now, the thing I'm worried about the art and the animation is AI is going to take over a lot of these jobs. But people still need to work with animals. People are going to need skilled trades like electricians, plumbers, people to fix things. As I travel around, nobody's fixing elevators anymore. The lot of the animation jobs, especially the low-level ones, AI will totally take over. Video game design, AI is going to take that over. But high-end photography, like let's say a really good wedding photographer, there's still going to be a need for that. Real high-end artwork, people are still going to want that. But with the more run-of-the-mill artwork, okay, you're going to make an advertisement for the local car dealership. That's the kind of stuff that's going to get taken over by AI. So for my kind of mind, this non-mathematicians, the skilled trades. I was doing woodworking in 5th grade. And we need to be, people ask me, what would I do to reform the schools? I'd put art, sewing, woodworking, all those kind of things back in. Mechanics and home ec. Home ec, because I've had kids in my class that had never measured anything. Never had measured anything with a ruler or a tape measure in their life. And we have little math kids in elementary school bored doing baby math. We need to move them ahead in math. And that's not being done.
What are you passionate about today, Temple?
Well, I want to see the other people on the spectrum and the people that think differently get into good careers they're going to really like and do something constructive in the world. And I think it's also important to teach these kids some good values, just very, very simple things like you need to give back. In our church, they had a Christmas thing where kids had to give a toy that was decent, and then it would be wrapped as a present for a poor kid. Now, I remember they had a big manger full of all the presents, and they said it's better to give than to receive. I never forgot that. And I see the manger full of presents. And I don't think abstractly. And that was kind of pounded into Bill Gates with all the philanthropy he's done. Also, the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Let's use plain language. And you learn it one specific example at a time. I can think of wallets I've returned at the airport. That doesn't make me Mother Teresa, but I went out of my way to take a wallet I found in the ladies' restroom and take it over to the information desk. And they made an announcement and she got it back.
It makes a difference.
Yeah. Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Well, Temple, what's one thing that you want, before we let you go, to enjoy the rest of your day? What's one thing you want to leave our viewers with on a high note?
Well, we want to, develop strengths. Let's say the kid likes cars, but you don't want to have it be really fixated. Let's broaden that fixation. Let's read about cars. Let's learn about how they work. Read about the history of the automobile industry. Take that interest and broaden it into something that can become a career. Also, there's all kinds of things in the neighborhood. I had a mom write to me, what do I do in a rural area? Well, if the kid likes cars, there's probably some farmer that likes to fix stuff, and you get the kid involved with him. The resource would be right there. Because what's helped make my life really interesting, is having an interesting career. That's made life worthwhile for me. And I want to see these kids that are different get out and get in interesting careers where they can do constructive, good things. That's what I want to see. And even ones that don't speak lots of times can do more things than you think they can do. They also know the difference between real work and fake work. Don't make them do a little fake busy work. They're going to get mad if you do that. They know it's fake.
So much to say, so little time. If you want to see the full interview with Temple Grandin, I'll post it here in the coming weeks right here on the channel Life with the Spectrum. Remember, you can always grab us as a podcast too. So when you're working out or on the go, you can listen as opposed to watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, we live life with the Spectrum. See ya.
Bye.